Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Full Throttle Finance, a financial literacy podcast geared towards dissecting complex financial topics into small, relatable discussions. I am Felicia, and I am your CEO at Claim B Consulting, and with me is Allison, who is our senior bookkeeper. And together, we focus on revving up the financial foundations for athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders in business. Regardless if you're operating from an established program already or if you are just getting started, we are here to help you make small shifts that drive better financial performance. And if you missed our last episode, we talked about how we got into the two-wheel lifestyle and elaborated more about what we're doing with the Full Throttle Finance program at Clean Beat Consulting. And just saying, we're on a time crunch here. We got snow outside. It's snowing for the first time in Oklahoma in 5 years, and I need to go play in it.
Yes, you do.
Today, we're talking about our very first Full Throttle Finance educational course called Revving Up for Financial Success, which is now live for purchase on our website. Felicia, do you want to give a brief overview of the course?
Yeah. So this episode, we're going to dive deep, but I wanted to start with just giving you like a super top level overview about this course, right? So from the beginning, the driving force behind Full Throttle Finance has always been financial education and financial literacy. I wanted to make courses that were user-friendly, that move at your own pace, that were friendly to the wallet, and most importantly, that they were relatable to people in the motorsport industry. And so this is the first of 2 different courses that we are planning to release this year. And Revving Up for Financial Success is a course that is really geared for race professionals. So think race teams, think racers, all types of racing too, or motorcycles, cars, go-karts, you name it. This should apply to you and your race organization. And it really appeals to those who are DIYing or maybe who handle their own administrative workflows internally and don't have a finance professional in their corner, per se. Essentially, the course is going to walk you through all of the basic fundamental concepts surrounding like your best practices. Think software systems and receipt management systems, financial reporting, balance sheets, income statements, cash flows, payroll, contractors versus employees, and touches on even some advanced concepts like budgeting, forecasting, and strategizing. It's priced at $125 for the course, and it includes over an hour, actually, of video recorded consulting content. It also includes downloadable cheat sheets and working tools that you can use alongside the educational content to make sure that you're really understanding and grasping the concepts. And the best part about it, too, is that you will get lifetime access. And if there are any new updates that correlate to any of the content that come out from the IRS or from states, we'll also be updating the course with any applicable updates that would change the course content as time allows.
Yeah, it's designed to make it to where you can go back in, take small pieces, and implement them into your business at any point. Then you can go back into it over and over and get everything out of it that you want.
So, Allison, tell me, as a bookkeeper, your job usually revolves around categorizing bank transactions and reconciling bank statements and preparing financial report packets for a client. So, tell me how you felt when I was like, hey, we're going to make a course. Here's my outline. Do you want to make something fun?
That's funny. I was really excited. I'm actually quite the creator myself. I like painting and crocheting and all that kind of fun stuff. So it was really cool to have that like creative side at work that I could tap into that doesn't really usually align with my traditional bookkeeping tasks. So getting the chance to build something that not only educates and engages people, but like a really fun opportunity. And I love knowing that the final product will make financial topics more approachable for business owners, just from somebody who's done a lot of like online homework and a lot of online schooling. I know that the combination of adding our hobbies into something, educational, we can make it a lot more digestible and a lot more fun.
I always say I'm creative with processes, but I'm not like creative with designing. So really having you on board to help me with the make it pretty part of the workflow is super helpful for me as a business owner. So tell me, like, what was your favorite part of the course design process then?
So I really enjoyed doing the pictures. I thought it was really fun. We go into a course and they're just like straight school
you're just like, I don't know about you, but I immediately check out. And so when it's like pretty and then you can go in there and then there's a nice video and then there's the description of everything, you can either choose to follow along with the video or you can choose to watch the video just by itself. And it makes things a lot more fun. I I think it was just rewarding to break down the complex topics into bite-sized practical lessons.
What was it like taking all of these financial concepts that you have gone to school for, that you've been working with other businesses and other industries for 9 years, doing? What was it like taking all of that information and turning it into something fun for others by relating it to motorsport content?
I just thought it was interesting, talking more about your hobby, because I think that's the fun thing is like motorcycles is a hobby for me. A lot of people, it's their job, but I think at the end of the day, we all go into it because it's fun. And so it was really fun to bridge the gap between the two worlds I enjoy, which is just finance and motorsport. I would say the challenge of translating the strategies into something racers and motorsports teams could relate to made the process a lot more exciting because it was like, let's take something that is going to be not so fun for them and make it into something they can actually get into and actually understand and enjoy.
It's less like homework, right? Like it's
Yeah, well, we're
more.
just trying to take tools that can change your mindset and that can drive success in your business and in everything that you're doing. So, Felicia, let's start with why you felt it was important to create educational content for motorsport professionals. And what was your inspiration for taking this route?
Both of my parents were educators, and a very big portion of my own professional career for the last 15 years has revolved around training others. So, creating educational courses about the fundamentals through relatable content really just allows me to help more and more program and help them get on the right track at whatever speed works best for them. They're not waiting on me. I'm not waiting on them. There's not a whole lot of back and forth. But you still get that time to sit with me and sit with my brain and get all of the same tidbits that I would give a normal consulting client who's coming on board to do consulting services with us, right? Right. So the educational content has all flowed very naturally. And because it is intertwined with motorsports, something that I'm seriously passionate about, I continue to get inspired each and every single day, thinking about different ways that we can make these boring to other people, but very fascinating to us topics would make them suck less for the standard Joe. There's a lot of inspiration that went into creating the courses. And then there's a lot of inspiration that just happens every single day that keeps us trying to be innovative with this content and the materials that we put out there for professionals to take advantage of.
Well, and of course, we talked numerous times about shifting your mindset. Can you explain how someone might implement that into their business?
Yes. We talk a lot about shifting the mindset. And I think that that's a really, really, really big, important acknowledgement to make if you want to move forward in your program. Things like taxes, mandates, laws, they're not going anywhere. If anything, they're going to get more complex over time. And generally, those types of topics aren't viewed in the most positive light. But again, they're not going anywhere. If anything, they're just going to get more complicated. So I always go back to the very simple phrase, turn lemons into lemonade. Train your brain to shift its mindset around the negative connotations that generally come with the burdensome aspects of running a business. You need to try and figure out ways that you can spin negatives into positives. So think of it in terms of spending money at the most basic level, right? It's money that is exiting your account. You don't have it anymore, right? It's going and it's being spent. And we generally look at that as a negative thing, right? Like we don't have that money anymore. And so what we do when we try to shift the mindset is let's stop looking at it as just spending money. And let's look at it as a business deduction. You have a tax bill at the end of the year. Every time that you spend dollars that go back into your organization throughout the year, whether or not that's buying a new machine, buying parts, paying your people, no matter what it is, start looking at it as if it were a business deduction that's lowering your tax bill and not just, I have to pay this bill or I have to pay these people because we have to. So it's shifting that mindset to start
thinking of things in a little bit more of a positive way. When you can train your brain to successfully do that, you start looking at income differently. You start looking at spending money differently, and you really start to make your money start working for you, which allows you to do more with your budgets.
And at the end of the day, I don't know about you, but I sure want to figure out ways that I can spend my money the way I want to spend it and ship less of it off to the government at the end of the year. So, Felicia, we've made financial reporting and strong workflows a core part of what we offer and teach at Full Throttle Finance. What led us to prioritize these areas, and how do you think having a clear, consistent financial process can help race teams and athletes grow their programs more effectively?
To grow or to truly maximize all of the resources that you have at hand, it comes down to very basic fundamentals. You need to know the details of how your money is earned, and you need to know the details of how your money is spent. And this is true across all businesses. It's not just race teams and racers and motorsport professionals, right? I'd say about 90% of the clients that come to us for consulting services, they come to us because they're not getting usable data from their current financial reporting, and maybe they have clunky or outdated workflows in place that are really stopping them from being able to modernize an accounting system. And so it's leaving them running businesses with blinders on. They don't feel confident making decisions because they don't really know how that decision is going to impact them. It's an easy fix for us because we're professionals and this is what we do. It's our job. We get in there, we revamp their chart of accounts, we throw together metric reporting databases for them. We create cohesive financial workflows that take burdens off of the business owners' plates. But again, that's because we're professionals and we do this over and over and over again with every client that comes through our doors. But because we do that, and because we keep that consistent monthly and sometimes even weekly, right, cadence for our clients, they've grown to rely on those metrics. And real-time data allows them to make spur-of-the-moment business decisions that can be essential to their development or might be very helpful in landing sponsorship deals or getting a loan, getting a line of credit to help with cash flow, things along those lines. So we're able to keep that consistency for our clients because we built the strong workflows and put them in place that keep us on track. And so all of that being said, none of that's too crazy, right? It's all coachable. It just might be coachable at a different pace for different individuals, which is exactly why we created this educational platform and these courses for the DIYers, is to show you what you should have and to teach you how to get to that point, right?
Yeah, so I think for me personally, I always like to DIY things. And so sometimes you get into DIY in it and you're just like, wow, the professionals really do this better. And it was way more cost effective to let them do it. So Felicia, if someone decides they want to invest in this course, what would you say the biggest takeaway you want them to walk away with is?
You don't have to make all of the changes at once, right? Start small with one change, implement it, get it working, then come back and do that with another concept over and over again until you've built workflows that are working for you. And you can think of it just like if you were to go out to a brand new racetrack that you've never been to before, right? You're not going to throw a whole bunch of changes at your race vehicle right off the bat, because how do you know what's working and what's not working for you? You make changes systematically and maybe even take some of those changes away if they're not working for you. You should really treat your own financial workflows in the same manner. And that's what we teach through this course too.
Felicia, I think sometimes professionals don't know what they don't know, and that is okay. If someone goes through this course and realizes that managing their own finances might not be the right fit, how do we want to shift their mindset that this can actually be a really positive step forward in their business growth?
You did the best that you could with the information that you had on hand when you made those decisions. So give yourself grace first and foremost. You are not a finance professional and you do not need to do this alone. But you do want to make sure that you have the right tool for the job, especially if you want to move forward, if you want to progress, if you want to grow your business. So ask yourself these questions. Is learning how to become a finance professional really the best use of your own skills, abilities, and brain power? Or is there something else in your program that your brain would be better spent focusing on? If you get through this course and you feel like you're in over your head, reach out to us directly so that we can discuss ongoing support with you. What we're going to do is we're going to take the $125 that you paid for the course and we're going to directly discount it off your first consulting invoice, right? The whole purpose of Clean Beat Consulting and Full Throttle Finance is not to make money off of our clients. It's to support our motorsport professionals in whatever capacity that might be. So the coolest part too is that even if you end up coming on as a consulting client, because you found our course made you realize that you were not the right tool for the job, you're going to continue to have access to this course like forever, basically. And these concepts aren't going to go away, right? If you come on as a client of ours, we're going to be talking financial reports with you every single month, most likely, if not more frequent than that. So really, the point of it is that we just want to support motorsport professionals in whatever capacity that looks like. And that includes bringing us into your corner. We are so happy to make that transition with you. And I'm going to kind of just wrap up and leave it at that, I think, right, Allison? I think that's a good stopping point for today's episode of Full Throttle Finance. We really appreciate you tuning in and taking steps to strengthen their financial foundations. If you found today's insights valuable, be sure to join us again next week. We are through the honeymoon phase, finally. You have learned about Clean Beat Consulting. You've learned about Full Throttle Finance. We talked about our course, so next week is going to actually be our first episode that is geared around financial motorsport content, and we're like so excited to get that going. So don't forget, we now have our first course, Revving Up for Financial Success, available for purchase on our website.
And you can learn more at cleanbeatconsulting.com. That's CLEANBEE consulting.com. And that'll be under the Full Throttle Finance tab. And of course, if you're interested in working with us directly, you can still schedule a consultation on our website. Be sure to subscribe and join us next week as we continue to break down finance with a motorsport twist. We'll see you next Friday.